They told you plant-based meant healthy. But what if I told you some of the healthiest proteins you're eating might be quietly stealing your strength? Starting with your legs? Yes, the very foods you've been adding for energy, balance, and longevity may be breaking you down from the inside out. A men's health expert with over 30 years of experience helping older adults reclaim their vitality. I've worked with thousands of seniors across America, many who followed all the right advice, only to feel weaker, more unsteady, and unsure why their legs just don't seem to support them like they used to. Here's the twist. Not all plant-based proteins are created equal. In fact, some of the most common ones you probably have in your pantry right now, contain hidden compounds that can block muscle repair, weaken joints, and sap your leg strength over time. And most doctors never even mention them. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 7 worst plant-based proteins for seniors, backed by science and real patient stories. You'll learn exactly why these foods are harming your legs, what to eat instead, and how a few simple swaps can rebuild your power, balance, and mobility. No drugs, no extreme workouts. And I promise you, number 4 on this list will shock you. It's one food almost every senior turns to for heart health, yet it may be doing the exact opposite for your legs. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have the tools to protect your strength, walk with confidence again, and take back control of your health, starting today. Before we continue, if you're serious about keeping your legs strong and your body active well into your 70s and beyond, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon. This way, you'll never miss another critical health tip made just for you. And if this message resonates with you so far, type 1 in the comments. If you think there's something I can do better, type 0. Your feedback helps me help you. Now that you know what's really at stake, let's take a closer look at the 7 worst plant-based proteins silently draining your leg strength, starting with one that's hiding in nearly every healthy snack aisle. First up is a so-called superfood that's been marketed as a heart-healthy option for decades, but for your legs, it might be doing more harm than good. 1. Soy protein isolate. I've seen it time and time again, well-meaning seniors who choose soy protein isolate, thinking they're doing their health a favor. It's in their protein shakes, their meatless burgers, their high-protein granola bars. It's plant-based. It says heart healthy on the label, and it's easy to digest, right? That's what most people believe. But here's what no one tells you. Soy protein isolate is one of the most overprocessed forms of plant protein out there. And for seniors, especially those fighting to preserve strength in their legs, it can be quietly destructive. Unlike traditional forms of soy like tempeh or miso, soy protein isolate is stripped of most of its natural nutrients. What's left is a concentrated powder high in phytoestrogens, compounds that mimic estrogen in your body. That matters more than you think. As you age, maintaining healthy testosterone and muscle-building hormones is crucial for keeping your legs strong, stable, and full of life. But when your hormonal balance is disrupted, even slightly, your muscles begin to deteriorate faster than they can rebuild. That means weaker thighs, trembling knees, and slower recovery after even the simplest movements like getting out of a chair. And there's more. Many of these soy-based products also contain additives, fillers, and chemicals that your aging body may struggle to detox. Over time, this toxic load can lead to inflammation, fluid retention, and a sense of heaviness in your legs that no amount of stretching can fix. One of my patients, Robert, age 74, used to blend soy protein into his smoothies daily. After we cut it from his diet and replaced it with real whole protein sources, he told me he felt like he had his legs back again. But here's the twist. Soy isn't the only plant protein hiding in your kitchen that's weakening your legs from the inside out. In fact, the next one is even more deceptive because it looks and tastes just like meat. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number one below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number two. Two, seitan, wheat gluten protein. Let me be honest with you. When I first came across seitan in a patient's food diary years ago, I was impressed by how much protein it seemed to offer. It was being hailed as the perfect plant-based meat alternative. But as I started seeing more seniors who were active, careful with their diet, and still struggling with leg weakness, stiffness, and balance issues, I started to connect the dots. Seitan wasn't helping. It was quietly making things worse. Seitan is made from wheat gluten, the protein-rich part of wheat. It's used to mimic the texture of meat, and for a while it was a go-to choice for vegetarians looking to stay strong. But here's the hidden danger. Gluten, especially in high concentrations like in seitan, can trigger chronic inflammation. Even if you're not allergic or gluten sensitive, your aging digestive system becomes less efficient at breaking it down. That undigested protein lingers, irritates the gut, and creates a ripple effect, reducing nutrient absorption, building inflammation, and draining energy. This inflammation doesn't just sit in your stomach. It spreads silently through your body, into your joints, into your tissues, and yes, into your legs. Many seniors I work with describe it as a dull heaviness in their thighs or a strange tightness around their knees and calves. And over time, that adds up. You move less, stretch less, and your leg muscles begin to waste away. Just last year, a retired teacher I worked with, Susan, shared how she thought her daily seitan stir fry was helping her. But when she stopped eating it, she noticed her morning knee stiffness practically vanished in 2 weeks. And if you thought that was surprising, wait until you hear about the next one. It's marketed as a gentle, natural source of plant protein, but inside your body, it may be doing the exact opposite. 3. Pea protein concentrate. Peas might seem harmless, comforting even. Many of us grew up with them on our plates, and they've long had a reputation for being gentle and nourishing. But as we've grown older, food has changed, and the kind of protein you find in today's pea-based products is not what it used to be. Pea protein concentrate is highly processed. It's often used in dairy alternatives, protein powders, and meat substitutes, but it's stripped from the whole pea, concentrated, and sometimes chemically treated to isolate the protein. This creates a product that your body struggles to fully recognize or digest. And for seniors, that's a problem because poor digestion means poor nutrient absorption. And without the proper amino acids reaching your muscles, especially the ones in your legs, those muscles slowly begin to shrink. One of my patients, Leonard, age 68, came to me frustrated. He had switched to a plant-based lifestyle and was proud of his choices, drinking a daily pea protein shake. But his legs felt weak, his balance was off, and he found it harder to stand up from the couch. When we dug deeper, we discovered the inflammation in his gut was holding him back. That protein shake wasn't building him up, it was breaking him down. After cutting the concentrate and returning to whole, easily digestible proteins, his energy returned, and so did his strength. What makes this even more troubling is how widespread this ingredient has become. You'll find it hidden in so many healthy foods these days, and unless you look carefully, you won't even know you're consuming it. But believe me, pea protein isn't the only sneaky threat. The next plant protein looks like comfort food and smells like dinner, but inside your body, it behaves like a slow toxin, quietly wearing down your legs one bite at a time.
If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now, let's keep going with point number 4.
4. Textured vegetable protein, TVP. It sounds harmless, almost technical. Textured vegetable protein. You've probably seen it in the frozen food aisle or on the label of those healthy meatless crumbles. And maybe, like many older adults trying to eat better, you've even cooked with it. But I need to tell you something you may not want to hear. TVP is not helping your body. In fact, for your legs, it's doing quite the opposite. TVP is made from defatted soy flour, processed, refined, and often chemically treated using hexane, a solvent derived from petroleum. While the end product looks like ground beef and boasts a high protein count, it's missing something far more important: real nourishment. Worse, many versions of TVP are loaded with preservatives, artificial flavors, and residues that your aging body struggles to eliminate. Over time, these toxins can contribute to chronic inflammation, the kind that doesn't just make your knees ache, it slowly weakens the very muscles that hold you up. I remember a patient named Helen, age 70. She was eating veggie tacos made with TVP several times a week, believing she was doing the right thing for her heart and weight. But her legs told a different story. She felt heavy, unstable, and fatigued walking even short distances. When we removed TVP and replaced it with cleaner whole protein sources, her inflammation markers dropped and her confidence in her legs returned. TVP fills your belly, but it doesn't feed your strength. It can create a false sense of nourishment while draining the very foundation of your mobility. But what if I told you that the next food, something you may be sipping right now, thinking it's keeping you young, could be quietly breaking down your circulation and robbing your legs of the strength they need most? 5. Protein fortified plant milks. You wake up in the morning, reach for your favorite almond or oat milk, and feel good about it. Maybe the label says fortified with protein or heart healthy. But here's what most don't realize. These protein fortified plant milks may be quietly working against your legs, not for them. Many of these beverages include added proteins like pea isolate, rice concentrate, or synthetic amino acids, forms your aging body wasn't designed to process in large amounts. What's worse, they're often packed with additives like gums, emulsifiers, and artificial thickeners to mimic the creaminess of real milk. These compounds may seem harmless, but for seniors, they can lead to bloating, poor digestion, and most importantly, chronic inflammation that targets the muscles in your lower body. I've seen this play out more than once. One of my patients, Ron, age 73, told me he switched to protein fortified oat milk to stay strong. But after a few months, he noticed swelling in his ankles and a sense of weakness in his calves when walking. He was confused. He thought he was doing everything right. But after we pulled that milk from his diet and returned to simple whole protein foods, the inflammation calmed and his strength returned. His stride became lighter and the stairs didn't seem so intimidating anymore. You see, it's not just what you eat. It's what your body can truly absorb and use. And when you drink protein from a carton filled with synthetic add-ons, your legs often pay the price through stiffness, fatigue, and poor muscle repair. But don't put that cup down just yet, because what we're about to talk about next is hiding in your so-called clean protein powders. And the danger it brings to your legs goes far beyond just inflammation. 6. Brown rice protein powder. At first glance, brown rice protein powder seems like a gentle, natural choice.
It's often marketed as hypoallergenic, plant-based, and easy to digest, perfect for seniors who want to stay strong without upsetting their stomach. But behind the label lies a hidden problem that most people never consider, and it could be quietly undermining the strength in your legs. You see, rice, especially brown rice, has a tendency to absorb heavy metals like arsenic from the soil where it's grown. When that rice is processed into a protein powder, those metals don't just disappear, they get concentrated. Over time, repeated exposure, even in small amounts, can lead to toxic buildup in your body. And for older adults, that's especially dangerous. Heavy metals like arsenic interfere with how your nerves communicate with your muscles. They can also impact circulation and create low-grade inflammation that settles deep into the tissue. One gentleman I worked with, Charles, age 69, came in complaining of tingling in his feet and tightness in his calves. He had been adding brown rice protein powder to his morning smoothies every day. When we ran a test, his body showed elevated levels of arsenic. Once we removed the powder from his routine, his symptoms slowly faded. Within weeks, he was moving more freely, and that strange numbness started to disappear. Brown rice protein may seem like a small addition to your day, but if your legs feel heavier, your steps feel uncertain, or your muscles aren't responding the way they used to, it's worth looking at what's lurking in your shake. But there's still one more trap to uncover, one that's not just about what you eat, but how you combine it. And if you're like most seniors, this next mistake might be hiding in your breakfast without you even realizing it. 7. Incomplete protein combinations. It's one of the most common mistakes I see among older adults who are trying to eat healthier. They pile up their plates with vegetables, grains, or nuts and assume they're getting all the protein they need. But here's the hard truth. Many of these meals are incomplete when it comes to essential amino acids. And without those building blocks, your muscles, especially in your legs, can't stay strong. You might be eating what looks like a balanced plate, maybe toast with peanut butter, rice with a few vegetables, or a quick bowl of cereal with almond milk. It feels light, plant-based, and good for your heart. But if those foods don't deliver all 9 essential amino acids your body needs, especially leucine and lysine, your muscles can't properly recover or grow. And for seniors, the price of that missing link is steeper than you think. I've watched people eat more and more trying to compensate for fatigue, thinking the issue is calories or age. But it's not always about eating more. It's about eating smarter. When your legs begin to weaken, when stairs start to feel taller, when your daily walk feels like a workout, it's often because the fuel you're giving your muscles is missing critical parts. Without complete proteins, your body starts pulling from your own muscle reserves, and the legs are one of the first places to suffer. I remember working with a retired nurse named Jean. She was doing everything she could to stay plant-based, but she still felt like her legs were giving out on her. When we simply combined her foods better, like pairing lentils with brown rice or adding eggs to her breakfast, the change in her energy and steadiness was dramatic. Coming up next, I'm going to show you a simple 3-step plan to rebuild leg strength starting today, and reveal the one protein source that research shows can reverse muscle loss and restore confidence in your stride. 8. Your legs, your life, reclaiming strength before it's too late. If you've made it this far, I want you to take a moment and recognize something important. You've already done something powerful. You've taken the time to learn, to question, and to listen, not just to me, but to your body. And that matters more than you realize. This video wasn't just about food. It wasn't just about proteins or labels or nutrition trends. It was about your legs, your foundation, the very muscles that carry you across the room, down the sidewalk, and through the chapters of your life.
When those legs begin to weaken, it's not just about balance or mobility. It touches something deeper, a sense of freedom, of confidence, of identity. Over the years, I've sat with countless seniors, men and women in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, who were confused, frustrated, even ashamed of how quickly their strength seemed to vanish. Some had fallen, others were afraid to go for a walk alone. Many felt embarrassed asking for help from their own children or grandchildren. And too often they blamed themselves. They assumed it was just aging, that it was inevitable. But what we've uncovered today reveals a very different truth. Strength doesn't fade because of age alone. More often, it slips away quietly because of the foods we put on our plates day after day. Foods we trusted. Foods that were marketed as healthy. Foods that promised to protect our hearts, help us stay fit, and fuel our bodies, but instead slowly chipped away at our foundation. Soy protein isolate with its hormone-disrupting compounds. Seitan with its concentrated gluten, triggering inflammation. Pea protein concentrate and TVP, processed and stripped of real nourishment. Fortified plant milks and rice protein powders sneaking in hidden toxins, and incomplete plant-based combinations that leave our muscles starving for the amino acids they need to survive. These weren't obvious mistakes. They were silent ones, the kind that build up over months and years until one day you realize the stairs feel steeper, the floor feels farther away, and the chair you used to rise from with ease now feels like a challenge. But here's what gives me hope. Your body is always listening, even now. It may be slower to respond than it was in your 20s, but it's not done. Far from it. I've seen seniors in their late 70s rebuild muscle, regain their balance, and return to hobbies and walks they thought they'd lost forever. And they didn't do it through extreme routines or miracle supplements. They did it by removing the hidden enemies from their diets and feeding their legs the way they were meant to be fed. So I want you to carry this with you, not as fear, but as fuel. You have the power to reclaim your strength, not just your leg strength, but the strength that lives in your choices, your knowledge, your ability to change your course at any time. Let today be a turning point. Let this awareness guide what's on your plate tomorrow morning and the morning after that. Let it help you say no to processed shortcuts and yes to real nourishment. Not out of guilt, but out of love for yourself, for your independence, for the life you still have to live. You deserve to walk tall, to stand firm, to trust your body again. And the best part, you're not alone. I'll be here to guide you in the next chapter. In our next video, we'll go deeper into a practical, easy to follow 3-step plan that shows you exactly how to rebuild your leg strength from the inside out, starting with one single food that science says can dramatically reverse age-related muscle loss. So don't stop now. Stay with me, because the journey back to strength doesn't begin in the gym. It begins right here, at your table, in your kitchen, and in the quiet, powerful decisions you make each day. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.